All right. We are live now. Good evening, Mr. Felix Odofin. I hope I got that right. So good
Yes,
to have you on board tonight on this Morning Leadership podcast. This is the third episode. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Please, I will need you to confirm that you can see it. Can you see my screen?
yes, I can see.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much. So, how was your day? I hope you had a great time. Like your day went as planned from office back home and your work throughout the day.
Yes, very well. Thank God. I'm really on part of. Thank God for the day. Everything went well.
Amazing, amazing. So good to hear that. And it's very glad to have you here on board. So to everyone listening,
My
and
pleasure,
I'm going
sir.
to be reading the bio of our speaker tonight. So Mr. Felix Odofin, please, I want to be sure I got that pronunciation right. Is it Odofin or Odofin?
Odofin.
Odofin, okay, awesome. So thank you for correcting me there. So Mr. Felix Odofin is the privileged provost of Success Activators Leadership and Business Academy, that's SALBA. And he's also a problematic leadership and personal development expert, soft skills trainer, public speaker, author, and relationship and youth impact strategist. He helps individuals and corporate organizations gain optimal effectiveness and overall productivity. Is your favorite plug on your journey of impact making, business growth, career advancement, and leadership development. Amazing. Good evening once again, Mr. Felix Odofin. It is a pleasure to have you here on the Money Leadership Podcast. Ah,
Thank you very much, sir. It's my pleasure being here also.
thank you. So we can't wait to get started already. So I'll just go straight to our schedule arrangement. So it's chit chat, of course, shout outs. We had a little bit of chit chat already, and we can have more maybe at the end of the podcast. Then, of course, shout out. Yes, me giving a shout out to everybody behind the scene at Samuel Abraham Global Leadership Consultancy, the brand sponsoring this very podcast, as well as the other two money podcasts, Money Business and of course Money Markets. It's not been easy, but I'm glad and excited that we are able to put this out again tonight. Thank you so much to the team. And yes, shout out to Z Natures. Yay! Tomorrow, in 3 days, they start their black soap festival, which is going to be ending on the 30th. Shout out once again. So, Mr. Felix, do you have individuals and brands you're giving shout out to? Please go ahead. Hello, Mr. Felix. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can barely hear you, but I know you. I can hear you, but barely. Like it is really disturbing.
Okay, I'm very sorry for that. Is it like I have to be louder or what?
It's not about being loud. It's like things really cracking, like breaking.
Okay. I really can't help that right now. So, well, I was asking if you have, according to our schedule here, if you are giving out shout outs to any brand individuals or maybe organizations.
I didn't hear what you said. Though.
But can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen, like, but I can see the screen, but it's kind of small, sha. But I know it's probably what you sent to me before.
Okay, so we are following the schedule and we are currently on item one.
Okay, item one. Okay, fine.
So I'm asking if you have a brand or an individual you're giving shout outs to.
Okay, everybody that will listen to this podcast, do a shout out to everyone, and I want to say I love you all.
Okay, thank you so much. That takes us to item two now. That's the announcement and disclaimers. Okay, guys. So this podcast, whatever you learn from it, this podcast is basically an education-based podcast, and whatever you pick from here, whatever wisdom you glean from the conversation tonight, implementing it is at your own risk because you have to do your own research. Okay, so if you get good results, you get positive results, that at your own benefit, and if it turns out sour here too, it is at your own risk. So the major advice here is that after taking lessons from tonight's conversation, you should do your own research and effectively follow what has been, what you learned from or got from your research before implementing. So that aside, we are not to be eligible for any results from everything and anything that comes out from what you do, from what you get from this podcast. But that being said, it is basically an education-based podcast, and do not forget to do your own research. And so we go to the item theory, talking about the podcast. Money leadership is basically designed to help individuals and brands to have an idea of how they can lead when they do have money, lead when they don't have it, and lead when they do not even need it at all. And that's how we bring uh, established individuals who run brands and organizations, in fact, who personal brand is speaks for them already, to come and talk to us every week about our leadership lessons for the week, using it, to give insights and foresight on how we should run our personal life and our business too. And that is the reason we have Mr. Felix Odofin here tonight to come and speak to us on the leadership lessons for this week. And I'm very certain he's not going to disappoint. So, Mr. Felix, if you can hear me, we are currently at the item 4, where you're going to take over from me now and start, telling us about leadership lessons you have for us for the week, and of course take it uh, to the item 5 afterwards. So the floor is all yours now.
I can barely hear what you said, but I know it's my time to talk now, right? Like I can talk now.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much again, Mr. Samuel, for this great opportunity. But please confirm from your end, can you hear me loud and clear?
Of course, I can hear you very, very loud and
Okay,
clear.
thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. I don't know why it's kind of breaking from my end, but I just know I'll try and put through this. Sometimes network will be so disappointing. So
That's
once
true.
again, thank you very much for having me aboard this evening to actually perorate my idea, my point of view on this subject matter vis-a-vis the leadership. So if I'm to start, there's this wise saying that say the best place to begin is at the beginning. The best place to begin is at the beginning. So I would want to do a little bit of disruptive leadership because as a leadership enthusiast for a while, I've noticed that a lot of things being there, like in the leadership space, that is basically not really correct if we are to look at it from different perspective. And I would actually want to say a few things about them this evening. And I know that after this section, at least everybody would see one or two things to pick, probably to what we already know about leadership, about transformational leadership, and about destructive leadership. So now let me start by saying that we have this popular notion that leadership is influence, right? And I more believe that this is a very popular notion that everybody, in fact, if you ask probably 10 persons what leadership is, I'm very much sure that a larger percentage of them will tell you that leadership is influence, or probably they will try to associate leadership with influence, which is quite correct and quite understandable, right? So leadership is influence, but in this context, I want to beg to differ that leadership is not just influence. And now, if you have read or listened to John C. Maxwell very well, he associated mainly leadership with influence. Why Miles Moron told us that leadership is not just influence. Now, influence is a big or an integral part of leadership. Please, can you still hear me very well?
I'm with you, sir.
Okay, sir. So, influence is an integral part of leadership. Now, what is influence? Influence is the ability to is the ability to influence, or I don't use influence now, is the ability to affect or affect people's opinion, people's behaviors, people's activities, what they do part time. If you are able to affect what others do, if you are able to make them do what you want them to do, or you change their modus operandi, or you change what they could have done. That is influence. If you're supposed to sleep at 10 a.m. and I did something that I still doing, can you say something, sir?
No, I'm with you.
Okay, I was even hearing myself. So when you're supposed to do something at a time, or what you're supposed to do, somebody did something, or somebody did something that made you change what you are supposed to do or what you could have done. That is influence. And now, the reason why I do not want to associate influence with leadership in that regard, in totality, is that influence could come from negative aspect. The influence could come from negative aspect. If you are looking at leadership in the myopic understanding that leadership is the ability to influence, there's something, sometimes what people call influence is not influence, it's manipulation. For instance, I can point a gun at you and tell you, deny your father. That is not influence. That is, I am coercing you, or I'm forcing you, or I'm manipulating you to do that. And we've seen this in many leadership like some leadership. Some leaders. A lot of leaders are doing this. What they do is not influence. What they do is manipulate. So at the end, they will still make their followers to do what they want the followers to do. But in that sense, they were not really influenced, or they were not really put to do what they're supposed to do in the right direction. They were just coerced, they were forced, or they were manipulated. Now, what is leadership? If you ask me, I don't want to go into what Mazmuno said. There's a lot of things to say there, but let me just say it from my own personal perspective, that leadership is the ability to influence people, or to make people do what they are supposed to do, and in the right proportion. Simple as that. There's a whole lot to talk about, to talk from there. Leadership is the ability to influence people, or to make people do what they are supposed to do, and doing it right, or doing it in the right proportion. For instance, if we are supposed to carry a table that has 4 legs, we are supposed to carry the table, and I know that I cannot carry the table alone, or probably I'm not supposed to carry the table alone. We are supposed to carry the table together. Now we have 4 persons, including myself, or we have 3 persons, including myself. We are supposed to hold the table. Each of us, we carry 1 leg of the table. Now, I do not need to force anybody to carry the table with me. I do not need to coerce anybody to do that. I don't need to manipulate anybody to join me in carrying the table. What I'm supposed to do is to help them understand the reason why we have to carry the table. Then in the long run, that is the purpose of carrying the table, the purpose of that task. Then motivate and inspire them to do it. So leadership is influence, but we have to, in most times, check what we call the influence, if it is not manipulation, and if it is not coercing or forcing. So now, if you are to talk about leadership in the, to a deeper realm, we have to know that leadership per se starts from self-leadership. Because most times when we talk about leadership, people try to think about when I have a position, when I have that that are following me, when I have followers, when I have subordinates, then I am a leader. I'll still come to that. But the standpoint of leadership is self-leadership, which came from self-actualization. Until you actualize yourself and you lead yourself, then you can lead others. So as a leader, you must first of all actualize who you are. Know fully well that you are a leader. Knowing fully well that you are a leader, then you will now lead yourself. Now, leading yourself has to do with you doing what you are supposed to do part time. And the end goal of doing what you have to do, or no, I don't use the end goal now. Let me say the first step is that you have a vision ahead. You have a vision ahead. Now you are doing everything, making sure that you get to that vision at the right time. I'm very sure that many of us will understand that every organization or every company has what we call the vision and mission statement. Even when why some of them don't really go with it, they just have it on the wall, they just have it somewhere. They don't really follow it. But a good vision and mission statement is to help and guide the daily operation of the organization, to guide their relationship, to guide everything that has to do with the organization, supposed to be captured in their vision and mission statement. And also, we can akin this to our own personal lives. When you have a vision of what you are going to do in life, then your vision and mission statement, your personal vision and mission statement in place will guide you in getting there. It will create this sense of bearing to getting into your vision, to actualizing your vision, to actualizing your purpose. So now, leadership, starting from your self-leadership, will help you to realize that you as a person, you are a leader. Before you start thinking of leading others, you are leading yourself towards achieving your own goals, towards becoming the better you. Because the truth is that we as humans, we are born excellently, like we are born excellent personalities. Inside of us are excellence. Can you still hear me, please?
Yes, sir, I'm with you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Inside of us are excellent attributes. Like, let me put it this way: we by ourselves, we are excellent. God created us with high sense of excellence. This will make me to say, yes, this will make me to say that leadership, as per human, as per identity, we are carrying the nature of God, which is the nature of excellence. Then mediocrity is not part of our makeup. Mediocrity is not part of human makeup from the onset. Now, mediocrity is an attribute or is a feature that was learned from the environment. And I'll put this to us now. Now, you will understand or you will agree with me that I want to believe that everybody that will listen to this are Christians. And even if you are not Christians, I just want to paint a scenario. I don't just see it as a scenario to you or just as a story. But for the Christians, you understand this very well from the biblical perspective. The Bible said God made man from the dust. Now, I want to quickly debunk this idea that man was from the dust. I understand that this might sound somehow, but let me finish up, then you will understand my point better. Man was made from the dust. Now, my own point of view of my own philosophy is that man was not really made from the dust. Now, if you agree with me, I think the NIV translation says the body of the man was made from the dust. And God gave the man, God gave the man the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. So this will lead me to say that the living being in that man was not from the dust, was from God. And you will agree with me that that living being came from the birth of Christ, of God rather. And biologically, you also agree with me that the breath of a man is the life of that man. So definitely, God gave us his own life. And you agree with me also that the life of God is the life of excellence. So mediocrity was not part of our makeup from the beginning. It was learned on our journey on earth. That is why if you see any newborn, while growing up in the formative age, he or she starts to behave, to think, to talk like the environment. So mediocrity is something that was picked up from the environment, not from the makeup. And that is the beginning of what we call identity theft or identity crisis. Because the environment which induces the mediocrity now make you to negate your real self. And I said something sometimes back that comfort zone, as against the popular opinion, comfort zone is not a place where you are lackadaisical. It's not a place where you are not growing. It's not a place where probably you are home with your parents. They are giving you food. You have everything you need, so you don't think, you don't grow, you don't do anything that can advance your destiny or that can advance your career. To me, that is just how people see comfort zone. That's the perspective of comfort zone, which is popular, I understand. But if you ask me, the true sense of comfort zone should be a place where you are in line with who you are supposed to be. When you are in line with your real self, when you are in line with your purpose, when you are in line with your potentials, when you are in line with your talent. And now this will now make you to do things effortlessly. Meaning that you are working within your ordained capacity, within the divine capacity that God has given to you. So this comfort that you are getting in working in your right place, the environment will now want to induce another discomfort that will make you to now be discomforted in your own comfort. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, sir.
Yes, I'm following, sir.
The environment will now make you to feel uncomfortable with your own inner comfort. And that inner comfort was supposed to be your comfort zone, the same person you are supposed to be. But the environment will now induce a mentality that will now make you to be uncomfortable with your inner man. And that is where many people lost it in life. And that is where the identity crisis or identity theft comes in. Because we are living who we are supposed to be and trying to become somebody else or trying to become something else induced by our environment. So I'm just trying to go down to the root of leadership before we now start thinking of how to lead, how to occupy positions, and how to do all of that. Leadership is first from you understanding who you are, understanding your inner man, understanding your true potentials, understanding your identity. Then that will now make you to now develop to an extent that people want to be like you. So, in other words, leadership is becoming who others want to be like. How do I mean? When you have become someone of substance, when you have become someone that people want to relate with, people want to associate with, people want to see around with, then you are already becoming a leader. Now, I don't mean that people should leave who they are supposed to be and now wanting to become who you are. No, but they are trying to leave their comfort zone now the normal comfort zone that everybody knows, trying to leave their comfort zone, trying to associate with you. And now, if I may say this, everybody wants to, now let's do this in the leadership sector. Let me mention some persons in the leadership sector that everybody would know, like Johnson Manswell. If I say, but everybody wants to be like him. Everybody wants to be popular like him. Everybody wants to have influence like him. Everybody wants to have a say like him, to have some philosophies like him. If I mention somebody like Reverend Sam Adeyemi, everybody wants to be like him because he's influential. He has come, gotten to a stage where everybody around him want to do like him, want to be like him, want to associate with him. Let me just mention probably Felix Odofin as a leadership expert. He has come to a level that he has a lot of people who are coming under him, who are trying to do what he's doing, who wants to be like him. You know this popular cliche that I want to be like you when I grow up.
Yes.
So that is leadership. Until you are now becoming who others or who people wants to be like, you are not a leader yet. And that is from personal development, which was coming from your self-actualization, identity. When you actualize yourself, you know your identity and you grow to become who others want to associate with, who others want to be like, who others want to hang around with. That is the beginning of what we call the follower to leadership. Leadership. That is when they will now come under you, they will now submit to you, then you will now begin to lead them. So leadership doesn't start from you having a position. Doesn't start from you gathering people and say, okay, let me start leading you. No, it starts from you having a vision. Even you are leading others, you cannot lead others to where you do not know. So there must be a vision ahead, a corporate vision ahead that everybody wants to get into. There should be a purpose ahead that everybody wants to achieve. Then you will now be there to now lead them day by day, step by step, putting everything together to make sure that you get to that vision. And when I mean everything together, there's a whole lot to put together. There's a whole lot to put together. The purpose should be there. The inspiration should be there. The motivation should be there. Because now let me also say this. Leadership is making people to do what they are supposed to do and doing it right without them losing their enthusiasm, without them losing their willingness. Because if I make you to do what probably you wouldn't have done, or I make you to do something and after you have done it, the willingness, the enthusiasm is not there anymore, then I've not led you. I just probably coerced you or manipulated you or forced you to do it. But if I was able to influence you to do something and you did it and you are willing to do it over and over again, that's leadership. And that will probably lead me to the concept of leadership and rulership. Or probably because many of us will think that the opposite of leadership is followership. The opposite of leadership is not followership, but rulership. And what is the striking difference between leadership and followership? One gives power, one takes power. Leadership gives power to the people, gives power to the subordinates, gives power to the followers. Why rulership takes power from the subordinates and gives power to the position holders. So until you are able to understand and realize that you as a leader see leadership as a title, but don't let it enter your head. Because being a leader is a responsibility of carrying others along to achieve a common goal, a common objective, or common vision. And until you're able to achieve that, you are not a leader. So I don't know if I should stop. I don't know the time frame, but maybe I can continue or I can stop here for the
Of
now,
course,
sir.
if you still have more information for us, please don't hesitate to go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So leadership now let me come to the natural perspective and everything that everybody can relate with. When we're talking about leadership, we need to understand that what the majority of people call leadership is not really leadership. Because, like I said, any relationship that takes power from the people and gives power to probably you, the leader, that is not more leadership. Now, leadership is also a privilege to lead others, not the right. I don't know how sensitive this could be. I will have mentioned some things about Nigeria politics and the lies. I don't know if I can go ahead, sir.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So now let me quickly say this. I don't know, but let me just say for the sake of the statement I made and the personal issue I have with the three political parties we have in Nigeria now, the major three political parties, one of them actually, one of their candidates. I just mentioned that leadership is you giving power to the followers, not you thinking that leadership is an entitlement. No, this trend of Emilokon, to me, I'm not saying that statement is not coming from leadership aspect, it's coming from an entitlement aspect. It's not in your place as a leader, as a true leader, to be claiming that you must be. There's nothing like must in leadership. Leading people should not be a must to you. Leading people should not be a do or die affair. Leading people should be seen as an opportunity. Leading people should be seen as a privilege given to you by others to lead them. Not because you are better, not because you are the best, not even because you have more money or you have experience, or this could be some of the factors they consider to choose you to be their leader. But it shouldn't be coming from you as a person that I must be the leader. That is not leadership. And now, let me quickly also say something. I understand the fact that for a while now, the APC candidate, they've been trying to invite him for general debates and everything. This man has not been showing up. You understand? Now, personally, if you ask me, I don't have any issues with him showing up, but I have issues with the mentality and the attitude behind those actions. The attitude and the mentality, I think, is that who are these little kids that are just doing? What do they know? Probably I should be in the age of their fathers or in their grandfathers. So I should not be ordered around with these small kids. You don't have the right with my level. You don't have the right to invite me for any public debate. When you are seeing others, what you see what others are doing as a child play, then you are coming or you are aspiring to lead them. Definitely, you are not putting them at heart. You are not. Because if you really value the people you want to lead, whenever they invite you to hear from you, I think it should be something of joy for you to go there and deliver what you have to deliver. Tell them what you have to tell them. I understand the fact that manifestos, a lot of things that have been going on in Nigeria for years, and many of them don't really do what they say they will do, or what they said they would do rather. But my point exactly is that you ignoring them is not the best. See it as a point, as an aspect, or I see it as something, a nonchalant attitude that you are not regarding the citizen. You feel you are bigger than everybody, and nobody can challenge you. And if you ask me, that is not the spirit, or that is not the attitude of a good leader. A good leader gives power to the followers. You are not retaining the power to yourself, because the true sense of leadership is the ability to make more and greater leaders. People who in their lifetime will be greater than you. That is leadership. And until you're able to make from followers, or out of followers, leaders who will be at least your status, you are not a leader. So leadership is creating more leaders, creating greater leaders, creating better leaders, not creating followers. So when you are leading any group of individuals, you should see it as a priority. You should see it as an opportunity. You should see it as a privilege to serve the people. That service there is very important. Until you see it as opportunity to serve, you surely misbehave. You surely do things from your own personal perspective. And that is the problem we are having with Nigeria leaders, Nigeria political leaders per se. Because I understand that this is not really about politics, but we cannot be talking about leadership in a place like Nigeria without making reference to the Nigeria political system, of which I'm not ready to go or delve more into, but I just want to point out some things. We've been seeing in Nigeria, in the Nigerian histories, we've been seeing political office holders, we've been seeing public office holders, but we've not really seen good leaders. Even when we have few leaders who want to be the true leaders that others want, the system will fight them, because they have the what we call the system that, when you say you don't have structure, when you say you don't have anything, they are talking about the system. They're talking about people who are there, who have the power to do and undo, which sometimes they call the cabal. So until you go there now and try to dance to the tone of those cabals, you can do but nothing. And this is the problem Nigeria is having. Because even as a true leader, if you are going there, you find yourself amidst those so-called cabals, you surely do what you are not supposed to do. You will not meet up to the requirement or what you are expected from your followers. So leadership, if you ask me, is the true sense of serving your followers to achieve the end goal, to achieve the vision, and to achieve the mission for you coming together. Thank you very much, sir.
Wow, that was a masterclass on his own. Thank you so much, Mr. Felix. I really went deep on this subject matter of leadership and using Nigeria political space as an example to how or what is expected of leaders in their various capacities. Of course, when someone wants to serve people, he has to honor and respect their call for you to come and talk to them about the expectation of what you do when you get into power. And people that don't know that, obviously, they are not practicing true leadership according to your definition and explanations. That was amazing. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. So I think that will just take us to the next item on the list, which is I think we can just join number 5 and 6 together. We just need to
Okay.
this. So there are so many leadership related news going on, and there are trends, of course, and they are trending like for the past 1 week, even in the tech space, political space, in business itself, and it could even be from your environment. Those we may not be aware of them, but at least I'm certain you know about some leadership trend going on around you there. So, what are your opinions regarding those trends and all?
Okay. I would love to draw my point from this Donald Trump coming back to Twitter
Amazing.
I'm very sure that it's no more in news now that Donald Trump is now allowed to tweet. And
Yes.
I wouldn't want to delve into what really happened, what led to him being banned from having access to Twitter.
Yes.
But the second point that I want to dwell on there is that Elon Musk asked the followers what they think about the ban. And a lot of came in that he should allow him, give him access back to Twitter. And that's why I mentioned something like power should go to the people. You are not
Yes.
you are not the almighty.
Mm-hmm.
You should allow people to have expression and see to what they say. If it's something that is obtainable, and if it's something that will lead the betterment and the growth of everybody in achieving the vision in the long run, then you have to consider it. Now,
Yes.
everybody is saying, in a nutshell, you have enough, like a lot of vote that he should allow him to come back to Twitter. And now, yesterday, it was no more news that this is yesterday before yesterday that he now allowed Elon Musk give him access back to Twitter.
Mm.
And this is something very important that we need to consider very, very well. And now I'm seeing it that Elon Musk, I'm sorry, what's his name now? Donald Trump might not really come back to Twitter. Might not. I say might, not 100% sure. Because after his ban, he started his own social media platform where he will have his own followers. So, leaving his own platform, coming back to Twitter, might make him to lose his own followers in his personal platform. So now, the leadership trend I'm trying to bring up here is that number one, Elon Musk thought of the people using Twitter, their general view, what they see about the ban, and what they have to say, what they have to suggest. Now they suggested that he should allow him back, like allow Donald Trump back. Of course, he did to what they said. He did to what they said. And now, from Donald Trump's side, I'm also saying that he might not come back to Twitter because of his own followers that he already had there. Because he might not want to lose them also. So that's just by the wayside. And if you are to come to the Nigeria political system, I think if you're very conversant with what is happening in Nigeria economy, you understand that a whole lot of things are really, really happening. A lot of things are really happening. But let me just leave the politics aside. Let me come back to the the unveiling of the new notes.
Yes.
The unveiling of the new notes, which seems to be the trending stuff now. Everybody is, trying to post about it, talk about it, and everything. Personally, and I know a larger percentage of Nigerians are in my shoes, I'm not really impressed with the new notes I'm seeing. To me, I was expecting something more quality. I was expecting something better. I was expecting something more creative, or probably something more innovative. Not just putting colors together and it's just not to me. It's kind of not making sense. And now, if they tell you the amount of money that went down for that, you marvel. So in Nigeria per se, I feel we should embrace more leaders who have a lot to do when it comes to creativity and innovation. Not just this old cargo that are ready to give us all these 1980s methodologies and all these archaic methodologies. We need leaders who are in the now, not who are who are still living in the past. I was expecting the money, like I was expecting like something captivating, something enticing. But when I saw the unveil, I mean what they unveiled, I was like, God, this is personally to me, others might have their general, I mean, others might have their personal opinions and not be aligned with mine, but from my own end, and I feel that some what I've been seeing online since the afternoon, what people have been saying, it's like many of us are not really okay with the new note, so to say. Because to me, I do not really see the difference between the old one and the new one. I understand the fact that they have their primary reasons for doing that, which was to bring money, the hidden money, the money that people have saved at home and all those things, bring them back to the circulation. I mean to the circulation. Yes, bring them back to circulation. I understand that, but I was actually expecting something more better, something more creative, something more innovative. Because if you are telling me you are moving from point A to point B, I really expect for your point B to be better than point A. But what I'm seeing in that note is just different colors, which I feel to me is not really good enough, sir. So that's the trendy thing that I could say for the now.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that. For those who are listening, I know you are quite, bemused by really stuck on notes and printing. So the Nigerian government actually introduced, a new it redesigned for the nation's legal tender, that's the currencies. So the reasons being that they want to kind of reduce the amount of money that is being stopped at top by those corrupt citizens, politicians precisely. So that's why they introduced the new design so that the old naira notes could become archaic, outdated, and useless. There was a timeline for that anyway. So Mr. Felix, like you said, everybody actually share in your, you know, in your sentiment regarding the amounts that must have been expended in getting that work done. Billions of in fact, we cannot deny the fact that there was corrupt practices during, the budgeting for the money there to reprint and all. Maybe 50% of the money was not even used embezzlement. So I do not even anyway doubt that. But anyway, I was about the color, no, the gradients, talking about the currency gradient, the way the color was not becoming, the design was poor. I don't know. Somehow when they announced the money spent on printing new naira notes the other time, it was higher than the currency rate. Let me give an instance. Let me say about 50 billion naira was spent printing like a 20 billion naira note. You can see the stark difference in the amount spent to print. Why was that so? Because of the high number of colors in those naira notes. So the more the color, the more expensive it is to get the currency printed. So with this reduced colored currency now, so they will spend less money printing. That's actually the only excuse they have anyway. But that aside, I think they could have done better. Even if you are not using too much colors, there are ways you could get creative and still have fine, very, very presentable currencies. And that is where these are leaders should actually work on. Well, let's look forward to see how it goes anyway. So that being said, he gave instance of Elon Musk too and how he democratized, the bringing back of Donald Trump back to the Twitter brand. That was actually fine leadership display from Mr. Musk himself. And at the end of he gave it, he made it an open vote that lasted for a specific time. He didn't rush it. And after the hours elapsed, whatever happened from that verdict, that was what he acted on. And Donald Trump was reinstated. That was very, very fine observation from you, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Felix. So I will just talk
Yes,
about
sir.
the best leadership performance. So for you, for the past week or thereabout, which brands, individuals, organizations or so do you think are the best leadership performance and can give your lessons around that?
Okay, can you hear me?
Of course, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, item 7, right?
Yes, yes. Item 7, yes. That's it.
Okay, okay. Um, my best leadership performance for the last should I use the word last 1 week or so?
Yes.
Last 1 week or so. Sorry, can I quickly say something? Go back and say something about the last one we said.
Okay, please go ahead.
Is it possible? Okay, actually, it was this morning. I was just trying to check online. I saw that C. Ronaldo has this thing has been terminated from Manchester United.
Yes, that's very true.
So I'm just trying to use some of these things because I know this a lot of you to hear about this, and these are the things we are very used to. So these are things that really captures our attention. So personally, to me, I know they've been having the manager of Manchester United and C. Ronaldo have been having issues for a while now, and
Yes.
according to an update last week or weekend, the manager said something that he is more interested in the club and not C. Ronaldo and his fans. You understand?
Interesting.
Now, according to his point that Ronaldo is not really performing as he used to, and he doesn't really want to admit to the fact that he's getting old and he cannot really perform well again. My point, or what I want to say here is this: for the caliber of C. Ronaldo, I don't really expect him to, or probably, I do not really expect them to terminate his contract, in the sense that this is a man who already has a lot of track records. He's a man who has already shown to the world globally that he is good at what he's doing. I understand that no king reigns forever, nobody reigns forever. Everything in life is part time. I understand that his time is gradually fading away.
Yes.
But I believe that the different or the problem between Ronaldo and Manchester management is because of lack of understanding or lack of how do I say management.
Yes.
Now, for any players, for any player who wants to be like Ronaldo, for instance, now Ronaldo has more than, let's say, 700 goals so far or more. Safe. So what does it mean for you to now beat that record? It means that every single year you must score at least 100 goals for 7 years before you can beat his record. So this man is someone who has how do I call it now? Who has track record, and now till tomorrow, see Ronaldo is still a threat to any opponent club.
Yes.
Give or take, it's still a threat to any opponent club. So probably they know that they cannot be using him full time, they cannot be using the 90 minutes and everything. I believe there should be a good dialogue. There should be a place of understanding between the club or probably the management or the manager and Ronaldo. Or probably they will try to set this amicably within themselves and nobody is coming to the terms of order and they have to just terminate it. But I feel personally, to my best of knowledge, and what I read about the whole scenario, I just feel that there's lack of understanding between both parties. And from the part of C. Ronaldo, probably he was actually going to the club, or he wanted to dominate everybody. I understand that he has that kind of attitude that he wants to show off, and he wants to be like, wants to show them that this thing still in my body. This is still in my body. I can still do it. I can still control everybody. I can still do the whole magic and everything. I was expecting him because when I heard that Ronaldo was going to Manchester United, what that came to my mind was that because that was where he started rising, so he wanted to go back there and finish his career there. That was my thought. So, and if that was the same thing he was trying to do, then I expect him to go in the area, or with the mindset that not just the regular player that that is in the club, I'm more or less like a leader to them somehow.
Because if he was actually having this mentality of a leadership of leadership, and even when they are not you as you want, but you still have to carry everybody along, give them experience, share this thing with them. Before you know it, whenever he retires, he might even join the management and start a coaching career, or working with Manchester United, or probably go and start his own personal career, a coaching career in another club. But the way with what happened now, this thing will really downgrade him, sure. And even it might actually affect his World Cup performance. And even if I thought he will even win anything in the World Cup, it might really affect it because of this what happened. And in the long run, many other clubs might not even want to sign him anymore. Not because they cannot afford him, but because of that attitude that they spotted. And that attitude was not what the manager was trying to push out to others to see, that he's not submissive. So these are the trendy things that are really going on now, and I feel these are some of the things that, if from both ends, they've actually put leadership into it, they've actually put understanding into it, and they actually put effective communication into it, I believe they probably could have solved things without having to come this way.
Well, thank you very much for that opinion. Yeah, I think
Thank you
it's
very much,
actually
sir.
it was actually disturbing. Even before CR7 granted the interview to PS Morgan, and the Man United organization now taking a stance on what to do afterwards, terminating his contract through mutual agreement. It was a disturbing thing. Of course, both parties will be affected. No doubt about that. But what can we say? We hope it actually turns out well for them. Like you said before, I'm very certain he actually agreed to sign for the Manchester United club because he wanted to, retire there, due to connection of history and all those old ties and others. But unfortunately, they didn't turn out as that. But what where I'm even more bothered is, if they knew that they wanted to be using him off and on, why did they sign him? And I'm very certain he was not looking forward to be used off and on. So there was a collective agreement. So it is because there's a break in agreement and probably no more transparency. That's why they had their issues. And if leadership was applied, it could have been a different outcome. So whatever the case may be, wish them well. I think that will just take us to the next item, which is item 7. And that was we
Okay,
are
please.
trying
Can you hear
leadership
me,
lessons.
sir?
I can hear you very well, sir.
We have to rush through things now because my battery is about to go down, and I was just expecting the light this morning, but we don't have light here.
There's no problem. So let's
So
just rush through the item 7,
okay,
8,
thank you. So
and 9.
the leadership performance that I would want to comment in this sense is nobody but Peter Obi. I'm
Amazing.
not endorsing him. I don't know how you. I know this is your platform, but I don't know I'm endorsing him. I'm just trying to bring out some leadership traits that he has been doing over time. That's really bringing
Mm-hmm.
him, trying to get the attention of mostly the youth.
Yes.
Because the fact is that Peter Obi is not the Messiah, so to say, but people have actually seen that he has some leadership trait that is enviable,
Mm-hmm.
and he might be able to lead Nigeria to the next level intellectually.
Yes.
So now the point is, if you check very well, there's some things that he actually did, like public speaking. He enhanced the impact of public speaking in his what do I call it now, in his getting through to everybody. Everywhere they invite him, he will go. And this is a good leadership skill that everybody should know. Being there for your people is one important. I mentioned that time about APC, right? That he's not there, he doesn't want to say anything to anybody. He feels these guys are just jokers, they are small boys, it's not in your place to even invite me in the first place. It's not you don't have the capacity to even bring me to your podium or to your platform. But Peter Obi, if anybody invites him, he's there. He wants to show his own, try to air his own view to everything. So with this, I really commend him. I know I will give him with these past few weeks or past few months, I will give him the best leadership that I've seen so far in this past. I don't say total few, but in this past few months.
Amazing, amazing.
Thank you,
for
sir.
that opinion. So how about the bad leadership performer for the week?
For the week, leadership performance, the worst. For the week, I don't know. If you ask me,
It
a
could be
lot
a
of things that
business.
actually happening. I don't
It
know.
could be
I
someone
wanted to give example, but it's like everybody might not know it's something that happened somewhere, but it's not
Okay,
something globally. It's not something that everybody knows.
please share.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just be brief about it. It's about a company. Two employees they have issues. Two employees they have issues, and the way the management handled the issue was very very weak. Even from the part of the HR, there's negotiation and reconciliation even in HR management. But all these things were not put together, and they didn't settle the matter as it was supposed to be. So I don't
Wow.
want to call the name of the organization. I know this is very, very sensitive thing. I could have,
Yeah.
when I mention politics, I know everybody wants to be, everybody knows about the politics, but this one is something pertaining to an organization. This is an identity. I don't want to disclose the
Okay.
identity. What I'm trying
It's
to say is
okay.
that when anything happens within the employee, there's what we call employee management and everything. When anything happens within the employees in an organization, there should be a strategy to make sure that everything is settled amicably, and
Yes.
nobody probably you don't who is wrong, you tell the person that is right, or who is right, tell the person that is wrong. You find a way to make sure that everybody is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it comes to words that you are terminating their appointment letter, there's a way you do it that they will understand it. Not you trying to do things, trying to manipulate and do things, and you feel because you are the owner of the company or because you are the so-called management, and you can just lay off anybody and send anybody away because you feel you are up to the task. So
Interesting.
that's what I would say, sir.
Thank you so much. So, of course, if you have, if the, in fact, I used to say this. In fact, I still say it that the first client you have as an organization is your employee, like your staff power. That's your first client, the customer within, and they are the people that are empowered to deal with the customer that are coming from the outside. So, if there is an issue within and it's not resolved, it reduces the productivity of the company entirely. And so, I think it's actually a bad one for the organization to not resolve that employee crisis. And I'm very certain it will
Yes,
just spiral down to something more worse. But all the same, that's a very, very
sure.
bad leadership and poor leadership performance brand. And I hope they fix it. So for the item now, yeah, basically from what you have mentioned so far, which of them do you think is going to remain at top, and which one do you think they may not even bounce back? They may still remain there as poor performers from for the next week and everybody.
Okay. If I may go back to Peter Obi issues, I feel if this man can be consistent, if he can be true to the core or to the vision ahead,
Yes.
the point is that even if he doesn't win 2023 presidential election, I still much believe that there's still a better place for him in the future.
Amazing, amazing.
I so much believe that there's still a better, because the truth is that these people that are saying it's my turn, you don't really know what they are up to.
You
Yes,
can't tell.
that's just it. They have their plans, they have their underground plans and everything. But the truth is that I see Peter Obi as an innocent man who was
Mm-hmm.
just lavishly loved by innocent Nigerians,
Yes.
and they're ready to go the extra mile for him
Mm.
without being coerced, without being manipulated, without being forced. So I
Yes.
believe that if he can be consistent and stay on course, very important, stay on course with time, I believe that he will still rule Nigeria. I believe.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Mr. Felix Odofin. You just did an amazing job tonight, honestly speaking, on the Money Leadership podcast. Thank you so much. I really took so much lessons from what you shared tonight, and what to do, when to do it, and of course, uh, how to do it. I think that's basically more important. And so thank you as well for your opinions regarding the trends for the week, and of course the best and poor leadership performance, your thoughts about them too. I honestly appreciate that, and I'm very certain the listeners for tonight's episode, they share the same sentiments too. So thank you very, very much. So with regards to your battery power, I would like us to just rush that in so you can quickly share with us what you have, like your brand, product, services that you render. Of course, do well to share your contact details so people can reach out to you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, like you said, my name is Felix Odofin, and I do a couple of things. I'm a leadership enthusiast. I do corporate trainings. I write books. I do a lot of things, and I have an academy which we call SALBA, Social Activators Leadership and Business Academy. What we do mainly in the academy is to help individuals advance their career and help business owners grow their business. So basically, we train and certify individuals and corporate bodies exclusively on impact making, business growth, career advancement, and leadership development. We help individuals and corporate bodies gain personal effectiveness and overall productivity. So we train, everybody that wants to advance their career, they want to grow their business, and want to develop their leadership skills. We have a place for everybody, regardless of your area, regardless of your physical location, regardless of your level in terms of career. So, can you hear me?
Of course. So how do they get in contact? How can they come in and become a participant of your program?
Okay, sir. Becoming a participant is something we've made very, very easy. Very, very easy. We have the orientation section, and we have the training. For instance, everybody coming in basically for the now, we have different programs that we run. We run the RCP, we run the IMP, and we run the MMP. The RCP is called the Rising Champions Program. It's basically for entry-level career professionals, for people who are just thinking about how they can start business, but they've not really gone far into the business. So probably your business is still under ideation, or probably under MSS, you're just starting out. We are there for you. So if you see our advert anywhere, we always attach link. So if you put the link, you come into an orientation group. So from there, we'll give you proper orientation you need to know before you make payment or get enrolled for the class. So when you get into the class, then you now have access to every other thing that the class has to offer. But basically, I can just give my number, and if anybody is interested, can just call me. Then that will be a better maybe a better way out just to get through to wherever we have in the academy.
Please go ahead and share your own contact details.
Okay. My number is 09039093801. Again, 09039093801. You can also access myself on Facebook, Felix Odofin, on Twitter, Felix Odofin, on Instagram, Felix Odofin, on LinkedIn, Felix Odofin. Then our brand, Social Activators Leadership and Business Academy. On LinkedIn, we are Social Activators Leadership and Business Academy, SALBA. On Instagram, we are official SALBA, at Instagram, official SALBA, at Telegram, official SALBA, and we also have a Facebook page, Social Activators Leadership and Business Academy. You can get through to us from any of these platforms.
Thank you so much. I'm also aware of the fact that you have some books that how do people get across. Can I talk about the books that, of course, share they can get across that? I have one or two of them for their personal and professional consumption.
I didn't get that, sir.
So I said I'm quite aware of the fact that you have some books that you have published, and so certain people want to have access to them. So how can we do that?
Okay, sir. I've actually, by the grace of God, I've actually written 5 books and
Wow.
I've published 3. So
Mm.
two are probably I'm working on 2 as manuscripts. So I have a book that is purpose-driven oriented, like for every purpose-driven youth, basically for youth who are
Mm-hmm.
trying to make impact in life. And I call
Mm-hmm.
it the pathways to relevance. I'm sorry, the blueprint of relevance.
Yes.
The blueprint of relevance. If you are the type that really want to make good out of your life, you want to become relevant. I put together some basic things you need to know to start the journey.
Yes.
Then I also have another one on relationship. By the grace of God, I'm also a relationship coach. When I mean relationship in this aspect, I mean boy to girl relationship that leads to marriage. Uh-huh.
Oh.
So I have the relationship that works. The relationship that works. The book that every youth has to read in their quest for love and fulfillment.
Mm.
Because time will fail me to say some things about it. A lot of things, what we call love is not really love. What we call relationship is not really relationship. So the book will give us more insight on how to start a good relationship that is purpose driven and that will give glory to God. That is the
Mm.
focus. Purpose driven and glory will be to God. Then the last one is pathways to financial freedom. It's basically on finance. And almost all these books, I have them. If you want them as PDF, I can send it to you. I also have them on Amazon. You can go on Amazon and go and download it. You can search for any of those books, you see them, or search for the books by Felix Odofin. You will see them there.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. So I'm
You're
very
welcome,
certain
sir.
reach out to you at the number. Can you please call the number again for those that missed it?
Sir?
Please, can you call the number again for those that missed it?
Okay, thank you. The number again is 09039093801. 09039093801.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Felix Odofin. It was very exciting to have you on tonight's section of the Money Leadership Podcast. Thank you very much. I think that will
Thank
take
you
me
very
straight.
much for having me, sir. I really do appreciate your time. Appreciate your having me here, and don't take it for granted. I see it as a big opportunity. Counting me worthy to be here, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
I
too.
really appreciate, sir.
Thank you too. So that takes
You're
us to
welcome,
the
sir.
item 11 here. So that's basically we're talking about our brand. So at the Samuel Brown GLC, you can see what we basically do is providing innovative and disruptive solutions for disruptive leadership solutions for economies. So basically, the thing is, we have this is one of our freemium, the Money Leadership Podcast. We also have the Money Market Podcast that happens on Mondays. Then of course, the Money Business Podcast that happens on Fridays. So these are freemium products, of course, that definitely graduates to our premiums, which you get to share from next year working on them. But at the moment, we offer these 5 services. Okay, so and first of all, we are very much interested in growth of business because we do not take it for granted. If you have a business and you want it to succeed, you must or you should endeavor to patronize us for at least 3 of the services we render here. One of the first one here is the registration of your brand, legal registration with the government of the nation. Basically, the CAC, that's the Corporate Affairs Commission, they are responsible for getting brands to become legitimate in the nation. So if you are starting a business, do where to get them registered, and we are actually open to make that happen for you. And of course, you need a blueprint on how your business should scale. Like, you should have an idea of where you are going to, how to get there, and of course, what you need to get to that place. That's where we come in for the business plan write up for you, and you can patronize us for that, the business plan document. And we also open for every professional training and general business consultancy services. Okay, so of course, we offer travel guides for those that are traveling for business sake, for relocation, and for tourism, even for business too. So even for study as well. Of course, also provide services for international passport processing, because you need these particular documents to make any move across the border. So aside these 5, we are still very much open for a freemium product like the Money Leadership Podcast, then the Money Market Podcast, and of course the Money Business Podcast. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Felix Odofin, for being our guest for tonight's session. And here's me giving shout out to everybody in the team at the SAGSE brand, and of course shout out to Z Nature, that's our sister brand. They are hosting their Black Soap Festival from the 25th to 27th, right? Okay, I think I got that right. So just go online and search for Signatures and be part of this, their wolf products for this particular month of November. And yes, I think this will call it a day or a night, as the case may be. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of the podcast for tonight. Talk to you next week. Bye for now.